Okay, so welcome Marilyn. Marilyn Romatka is a traveler, filmmaker, and teacher. She travels to various countries gathering folk art techniques and then returns to the United States to teach enthusiastic students. Her passion is getting the traditional skills into the hands of the next generation. And during her short presentation today, Marilyn will be sharing a bit about her film, Interlacements, and we will also screen the trailer. All right. Thank you,
All
Marilyn,
right.
for being here.
Thank you, Kelsey, and hi, everybody. Good to see you. Here is another weaver checking in who learned how to weave from Deb Chandler. So I really appreciate WARP as a group, as a community, and as Kelsey said, I'm here to talk about a documentary film called Interlacements, Threads and Lives. Warp came to me and said, why don't you do this 15-minute thing? Okay, I could talk about this all afternoon. So I certainly can talk about it for 15 minutes. So as Kelsey mentioned, I am a folk art instructor, originally teaching kids specifically, love teaching the kids. Since the beginning, I have also moved on to teaching adults, but my heart is really with the kids. I love to see kids spark into this idea of I can make stuff with my hands, and teaching them about the world through the folk art of the world is just an absolute thrill and honor for me to be able to do. So having taught everything in classrooms, and everything that could go wrong in a classroom has gone wrong in one of my classrooms, so I thought I had something to share with other folk art teachers, and so I published a book and later started making videos of my classes with my photographer videographer husband, and we were making these videos. And then he, because he can do this, he made up a website for me to stream my classes online and accept payment for them. And that was very handy. And then we made it into a cooperative of other folk art, fiber artists, instructors. And now a lot of us are on this website. It's taprootvideo.com, but that's just background for the story I'm going to tell. So we went to India, my husband and I did, and we saw amazing techniques, and you know what I'm talking about, amazing techniques, and not a lot of people were doing them, or not a lot of families were still doing this technique, or this wasn't going to happen for a lot longer because people weren't making money on it. The story. That's why you're all part of WARP. So we had at that point a small dream in our heads. We said, when we retire, we would like to travel to far-flung countries and document folk art techniques that are in danger of snuffing out before they snuff out, and then take these little documentary films and put them on the website and charge a nominal fee for them, have the artisan teach the camera, as it were, how to do it. And then these little classes could also be streamed. And then this money could go directly to the artisan in country that from the sale of their little documentaries. Fine. And so my husband, being very clever, said to me one morning, he said, he says, we really ought to practice doing a documentary in English before we try to do one in Hindi. So I thought that was wise. And I said, okay, you're going to make a documentary film in English. This is fun. What's it going to be about? Well, he said, weaving, I think. And I said, oh, yay, because, hey, it's weaving. So I said, what are we going to do? The history of weaving or something? And he said, no. He said, not everybody in the world is interested in weaving, but everyone in the world is interested in relationships. He says, I'd like to do a documentary. He'd given this some thought. He said, I'd like to do a documentary about the connection between the weaver of the cloth and the person who uses the cloth. Friendship through fabric. He says, do you have any stories like this from the Seattle Weavers Guild? And I said, well, yeah. I said, there's the story of the purple rug that has, become legend in the Seattle Weavers Guild. And so I told him the story, and he said, yep. He said, we've got an idea. We are going to make a movie. Okay. Well, in the beginning, the focus was on us. This was a project to teach us how to make a movie. And so we went for it. We interviewed, we filmed, we edited, we learned lots and lots of skills. Let me share my screen and show you the poster for the movie. We taught ourselves all the different parts. So there's the poster for the movie. Fine and good. So as we edited and as this thing became more of a congealed thing, a congealed happening, we made the focus changed from being about us. We were going to learn how to do this to we realized these stories are really good. These stories are compelling. There are people who are passionate about hand woven cloth. And so the focus changed from it being about us and us learning skills. And now it was kind of, we had the responsibility of telling these stories well. So the focus changed. And at this point, we had Kathy Stevliak and Len came over. They were mentoring us through this whole thing. And we showed them some clips of the movie. And they said to us, they said, gosh, they said, the first 20 minutes of your film is actually a short. And we said, it's a short what? We didn't even know that a short is a thing. This is a movie that's less than a half hour long. And it's a thing. We were so green. We knew none of this, but we started showing the rough cut to groups of people to get their reaction to it. People from the church, people from the neighborhood, people from the Weavers Guild, and just to get feedback. And have we left one topic too long? And should we put in more music and this sort of thing? And the focus shifted again, because once we put this movie in front of people, we realized with a shock that we could actually emotionally move people with the work of our hands, which was a heady brew, I have to tell you. We hadn't thought about this. So realizing that we could move people with what we had written, what we had put together, these stories that we had knit together, we actually changed the focus again from it being about the responsibility of telling the story to, can we move an audience? So let me show you the trailer. And of course, my external hard drive will have fallen to sleep. So they'll take just a minute to wake up. But this is the trailer we put together for the film.
I just love this rug. I just love this rug, and I did not come here to buy a rug.
Weaving.
A better use for the warp would be a trellis for peas.
Weaving may surprise you.
Yeah, it's a really nice connection, just on a lot of levels. To combine the traditional arts, Annie's weaving and our music.
Weaving brings not only threads together,
they were the best part of children's patients because they gave us so much.
but weaving also brings together lives. Our social fabric is being woven. Stories about friendship and relationship through cloth.
And stop share and come back into the meeting. So I've got 4 minutes before Kelsey's going to shut me off. So we went with our rough cut to the Seattle Documentary Association. Who knew there was a Seattle Documentary Association? This is a group of people that get together. They all make documentary films and they review each other's work and have work in progress screenings and this sort of thing. Great. So we went in, we showed it to them, and they gave us some suggestions. They were good suggestions, and we incorporated them into the film. For instance, they said, we want to see more weaving. And my husband had said all along, no, we want relationship, not the weaving. Well, they wanted to see more weaving, so that was fun. But they said, okay, now what is your plan for distribution? And we said, distribution. They said, of the film. And we said, oh no, we said, no, this isn't a film. This is a project. And they said, no. They said, this is a film. And you're to take it to film festivals. And we picked ourselves up off the floor. And we put it into the Houston World Fest Film Festival. And we came home with a Gold Remy Award from that film festival. So we were feeling pretty good about it. The up-to-date news about what's happening with the film was we were to have our world premiere at the Warp annual meeting of 2020, and y'all know what happened with that. So at the moment, we don't know what's going to happen, and we are following this. It's been a wild ride, but here we are. Okay, Kelsey, I kept it under 15 minutes.
Thank you so much, Marilyn.